Hello, my name is Raphael Ehiawi, and I am a doctoral candidate at the Center for Sustainable Development, University of Abuja in the Federal Capital Territory in Nigeria. I'm writing a research on social protection and conflict resilience in fragile settings, assessing the role of cash transfer programs in Northeast Nigeria, a study of Jere LGA in Borno State. This is my research proposal. Now, the statement of the problem is that if you take a look at Jerry LGA, you will notice like every other fragile and conflict affected areas or states in Nigeria and in the global south, it is faced with multi-dimensional poverty. There is poverty of food, poverty of electricity, poverty of energy, and a whole lot of others. Now, cash transfer programs have been widely used, but long-term impact of these cash transfer programs have not been clearly defined in most cases. JRLGA experiences displacement, gender disparity, and instability with its propensity to economic shocks, natural shocks as a result of climate change, and of course, security challenge as a result of non-government or non-state actors. Now, this proposal investigates how cash transfer fosters resilience in Jere LGA. Now we'll move to the literature overview and background. Now, to enable me carry out a strong research on JRLGA, I'll be looking at social protection as it is evolving to increase and include resilience building. I'll be consulting papers that have been written and studies that have been written in Nigeria, Somalia, South Sudan, and a whole lot of other places around the globe. These are studies that would have shown improved short-term outcomes. Then I would look at gaps. One of the major gaps that comes to mind is the intersectionalism of gender analysis and long-term coping mechanism and social cohesion impact still remains a gap when delivering social protection programming in places like Jere LGA in the northeast of Nigeria. Now, this research is meant to address these gaps and put it in a more localized context. My main proposal objectives would be to examine the role of cash transfer in enhancing resilience in Jere LGA. And this will bring me to dive into specific objectives like one, assessing the access and targeting mechanism. This will entail how our participants or beneficiaries of the social protection cash transfer programs being selected, and then we evaluate the utilization and the livelihood impact of these resources that are being disbursed as cash transfer projects or cash transfer programs. Then we'll run a gender analysis and look at the dynamics and the protection outcomes of these programs. Then finally, we would explore the effect on social cohesion and coping capacities. Now, we'll look at and to enable us achieve this, the methodology and the approach we will take will be a mixed method design, which will be a blend of quantitative and qualitative research methods. And we're looking at a sample size of about 150 households will be part of the survey. 15 key informants to be part of the key informant interviews. These informants will be drawn from stakeholders, community leaders, development actors, humanitarian actors, and part of the state government and SEMA, the State Emergency Management Agency. And then we'll have a focus group, focus group discussions that will span across different walks of life. Then, of course, our sampling techniques, looking at what we have just stated, will definitely be purposive, and then we'll use random sampling in 5 communities to achieve our sample size for the survey. The data analysis will be quite descriptive, and statistics and thematic coding would have to come to play as a result of the blend of qualitative and quantitative research method. Of course, ethical clearance will come from the University of Abuja, stakeholders in the communities, development actors, and those that are the community gatekeepers in that region. For our expected outcomes and deliverables, I would like to create the avenue to see social protection programming on a better light so that we have a better understanding of cash transfer program designs in fragile contexts, and then we'll be able to generate evidence on gender and the protection outcomes. Then, of course, we will serve as a recommendation for future programming and policy design. Of course, it will also add to the academia by contributing to resilience and social protection debates within the academic sector. Now, for our timelines, we hope to be able to have the proposal approved in July 2025. Then we'll step into the field for data collection between July and October 2025. And then the analysis will happen in November 2025. And then in December, we'll start the writing proper, where we'll have the chapter drafting up until February 2026. And then the final submission hopefully should come in April 2026. And then the potential impact, right, and significance of this, if achieved, is that we will be able to inform cash transfer policies in fragile contexts and then highlight localized gender resilience and equity issues. Then we'll be able to bring to bear the guides and then serve as adaptive social protection strategies in the Northeast. We'll be able to mine out germane things and tools that can be used to create social protection programs in the Northeast of Nigeria and in the world at large. Then, of course, we'll strengthen the academic and policy linkages. Now, one thing I want you to understand is that this study is going to address critical knowledge gaps and policy gaps. As you are aware, you may be aware, there are several social protection programs going on, but there seems to be a lot of gaps in how these programs are being assessed. And then we'll combine rigorous method and practical implications to be able to arrive at our conclusion. And then we'll have support from the academic and policy actors around social protection. We'll talk to development actors, we'll talk to state government and those that are working within the social protection sector. And then we'll be able to ensure that there is a rethink in social protection programming through a lens of resilience. That will be about the size of it. Thank you for listening, and I hope I get the approval that is needed to carry out this very important project. Thank you.